Hi everyone, it's Bitcoin from the Big Chubowski. This finale I'm fighting Corneo from the guild 4PDA Camino. He's got 363k lifetime score, which relative to me I think is one of the highest lifetime banner players I've ever fought. He is a pretty offense heavy opponent but has plenty of defense as well. Has no trouble getting Kyber every time from what I see, and based on the score of course. Pretty interesting roster, for the most part fairly similar to me because we both went for Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, but also has a bunch of relics like Darth Vader there that you can see, and does have Han Solo relic up there, and some of the other characters like Veteran Smuggler Chewie as well, so he's got a veteran team. And then in terms of speed, I believe he is pretty solid, a little bit slower than me, but a really strong player, almost a mil GP over me. So I was definitely interested to fight him and to see what was going to happen. So I'll show you what he has done, as he somewhat recently attacked, I believe. You can see that he's cleared half the board, and up against the bottom zone here, where I put Supreme Leader Kylo Ren on defense, he took 3 attempts. He one-shot the General Skywalker team, and then in the back he took 3 attempts on the CLS team and on Geos. I went pretty defense heavy. I actually considered going even heavier because of how heavy on offense he usually goes, but I figured I wouldn't make it too difficult for myself, and considering what he set on the board, I'm pretty glad that I didn't go harder, as that would have been a bit of trouble. So he also one-shot Darth Revan and then preloaded both the Grievous and Night Sister teams, so basically he is done. Have Watt in there with Grievous as well, even because I didn't think I necessarily needed him for offense. He is of course very handy with the Bounty Hunters against Night Sisters, but I think judging by his Night Sisters I can take those without Watt. Could end up being wrong there and that'll cost me, but putting Watt in here certainly helped me out. Now what I'm not sure of actually is whether he put his Supreme Leader Kylo Ren on defense. So if I look at his front wall here, he put Grievous with BB-8, and then he put his First Order team with Hux in there. So that's super odd. Now I'm wondering if he used this General Skywalker against my Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, because after I saw his first attempt when I opened the map, I think he had just attacked. It was Supreme Leader Kylo Ren left and then 2 First Order guys. So it makes me wonder if he actually used General Skywalker over there, and then something else up against my General Skywalker. I'm not really sure. I do think he kept his Supreme Leader Kylo Ren for offense, but I don't know why he would possibly split off Hux, as that just doesn't really work too well. It gives me such an advantage if I have Hux in and he doesn't. Maybe he was expecting me to keep my Supreme Leader Kylo Ren on offense, but if he would have checked my history, he would have seen that I've changed it up a couple times, and this was one of those times where I felt like the odds of him keeping a Supreme Leader Kylo Ren on offense with mine on defense were super high. So there is a chance that he actually put his at the back and he hopes that I would have spent my Supreme Leader Kylo Ren on his Grievous. If that is actually the case, that will be pretty crazy, considering he can't clear half of my map, so I just need to clear his front walls then and his fleet, and then I'm good. So if that's the case, then he kind of really set himself up for a loss. Which I hope not for him, but I think splitting off Hux from Supreme Leader Kylo Ren was not a good call at all. Then over here at the top he's got a CLS team, he's got his Night Sisters and his Geos, so I just need to clear the front walls and the fleet, and then I'm good. But I have some interesting challenge in the front here with that First Order team and with the Grievous team. Because the Grievous with BB-8 in there as well is kind of at the limit of what my Bastilla JKR can handle, I think. Now some of the things, and it's especially interesting for territory wars when you have some choice and there's a lot of Grievous teams that you fight, some of the things that you want to look out for, whether you can handle it with your Jedi, is what are the relic levels on their B2, and what are the relic levels on your Grandmaster Yoda, assuming that both are correctly modded. And when I say correctly modded, for Grandmaster Yoda that means having enough offense and crit chance, special crit chance to be specific, as that's really important. There they are, scroll past them. So you really want to make sure that you're properly modded or it's not really specifically accurate. In my case, like Grandmaster Yoda doesn't really need much speed for the Jedi counter, so you don't really have to pay attention to that. You do want to have a crit damage triangle if possible, as you will start critting at some point and then it makes a really big difference. And then don't look at the physical offense. A lot of people do that and they think, oh yeah, I've got 60+% crit chance, that's all good. It's the special crit chance you need to look at. And that's actually pretty low for him. It's not even 50% for me, despite adding a lot of crit chance through secondaries. But the offense is pretty good, so that certainly helps. So you want to compare those to Grandmaster Yoda and B2, and make sure that you at least match the relics on B2. And then for the rest of the team, you need to have a good look at how the Grievous is modded. Is it a fast one? Is it a very healthy one? In his case, it's a pretty slow one, and very healthy. That's quite often what you see. Checking out the crit chance and comparing that to the crit avoidance on your Jolee is also a good idea. Keep in mind that Jolee gains crit avoidance from his tenacity. So you can take a look at that, and then B1, you want to see how fast is he. This one's really slow. How much offense does he have as he whittles down all of the protection and overall. And that's pretty much it. Magna Guard doesn't matter at all. He could be Relic 7 for all I care. It really doesn't matter. He's just standing there to soak in some hits, and then he gets circumvented through direct focus. So he doesn't really matter, and for me, I feel like I can handle this team. I could be wrong here because I do have 3 Gear 12s and a Gear 10. But let's go into it and try to take this one down. I'll obviously take a very big beating at the start, but we'll see how it goes. So they're gonna go decently fast. And now I can start focusing on their B2. Now something that I could do is do some swaps here to lower the stacks on B1 to decrease the crit avoidance, but I don't think it really makes any sense. So there's not going to be any crits from these first attacks for now, but that's okay. I only just got the buff, so I'm thinking of doing another basic. Because I'll feed more turn meter with calling the assist with Jolee, and then with Hermit Yoda. And then I can spread my buffs. So actually I already got the kill here. I was expecting it a little bit later, but this works out just fine. Now, as always, when you're fighting the BB-8 variant, you want to make sure that you kill BB-8 when it works out for you, which is now for me, because Grievous was about to take a turn anyways, and I need Jolee to revive JKR anyways, so that's a good time for me. But if you do it after Grievous has just taken a turn and after some of your characters are vulnerable, that's really bad timing, because that could cost you the match. So sometimes it's just smarter to wait a little bit and attack a bit later on. And sometimes it's good to grab the opportunity when it arises and make sure that you take them down at the right time. So it's really all about BB-8. Also paying attention to JKR here, who has the highest turn meter, how can I get that direct focus back quicker. And to Grievous's turn meter here, I can reduce that very nicely if it hits, if it lands of course on Grandmaster Yoda. Sometimes it doesn't, but usually it does. And you can see the modding on Jolee here really helping out big time. You want to use his basic in some of these scenarios just to reduce his revive cooldown and put that second Master's Training on him as well, because that makes him a lot more durable. Now I don't want to do an AoE here because that would drop Grievous under his max protection. Sorry, max health. I don't know why I always switch these up in speech. And there we go. We can direct focus Grievous again. Even do an AoE here, spread my buffs. I can reduce the turn meter, so let's do that. And then it's just a matter of calling Grandmaster Yoda enough times to finally get Grievous down. And B1 should die in a second. I don't really want to do any more AoEs here or kill him. Just to preserve my banners, really. That's pretty much the only reason. Should be a kill momentarily. Spread the offense up, and this should kill 2 at the same time. Perfect. Just looking around the field, I don't know if I can still recover anyone's protection. Probably not going to happen. So I'll just finish it here. Maybe Bastilla just got there, I don't know. That's 57, pretty easy first match. Then against his first order, it doesn't really matter if he puts Supreme Leader Kylo Ren in the back. as I don't expect to be able to clear that. I never did in the first place. I just realized that if I set this front wall that I did, no matter how he was going to play it, I was always going to beat him. So I went into it assuming for the first time sort of that I wasn't, not the first time, but I don't do it too often, assuming I wasn't going to full clear him, but I would simply beat him on banners as I have more soft counters than he does. So that was my plan going into it. Now against the First Order, I could use my resistance. I certainly have some good power on that team, but I think what's going to make more sense is to use my Padme. So I'll go for those. And then I can use my resistance on one of the top teams, in the top zone that is. General Kenobi and Shaq T. And that'll do. But I don't believe he put anything really strong in the back. I just think he couldn't handle the teams that I had remaining there. So I put the protection up so that I cannot be debuffed. Whenever they do an AoE, my Shakti will dispel their what's it called? Advantage. And here's where the fun begins. So I just put up Retribution, and whenever they do pretty much any attack from this point forward, I will just counter them down pretty hard. That should all get countered, and yeah. I mean, the courage doesn't really do much, but for the rest it works quite nicely. So hopefully I'll be able to maybe preserve someone's protection. I don't really know. I wasn't really paying attention too much. If it's, yeah, it looks like Jedi Anakin's already too low. I think the AoE from Kylo Ren or Sith Trooper at the start already did the job for them. So that's fine. Let's get a stun in on him. And then it's a matter of burning through this guy, which will be a little bit time consuming until I start landing that healing immunity, which I just did, but it will expire at some point. So just got a basic every time. See if I can heal anyone to full. Maybe Ahsoka. And just do a special. She is full now, so that's one extra banner I got back. And he should be about to go down. There we go. So I have 57 still, actually. I don't know who else still had their protection. Let's see what he had in the back. I'm really curious. So no Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. Put his Rey lead this time, actually, together with the veterans. So normally he put Kira, and then the veterans underneath that, but now he put Kira with Nest. So we did change some things up, which is nice to see. But yeah, no Supreme Leader Kylo Ren on defense, so he failed against mine just because he didn't bring Hux. So I think a lesson learned there for him. I have no idea why he made that split. But yeah, this is I guess how it ended up. So I'll go against the Geos next. Put in my Treya, Scion, and they might have a chance of making it, but I'll make sure that I bring my Nest. And since there's a feat with Lando and Rebel Officer Leia Organa, I'll bring them as well. I'll be bleeding banners, but it doesn't really matter too much. They're pretty weak. The only risk is, of course, if those two get killed first and then Spy Special immediately goes on someone like Scion, that could hurt a fair bit. But I think Scion is fastest. I could probably check that, but I don't think it's going to change what I'm going to do here. So let's go for it. Yeah, he is. Alright, immediately get the Isolate. And then you're just gonna spend a good bit of time on Scion. It's likely he'll go down against Spy, but we'll see how it goes. Spy just took a turn, but didn't actually... Right, well, let's try an AoE here. Okay, that's one guy down. Let's get Boggle down as well. Okay, Lando, get them all. Almost. How about you, Rolo? Close enough. Let's take out Sunfac. I like to keep Guess she had to take the hit there. That's pretty funny though. Let's do a basic. It's pretty annoying when you can't get a Geospy. But that is the name of the game here. It should be him dead. I'm gonna have to go through Brute here. No, okay, nice. Let's do a basic, and there we go. So at least Lando survived. That saved me a couple banners. Right, so next battle up against the Night Sisters. I'll be using my Bounty Hunters, but no what this time. So that makes it a hell of a lot more interesting. Fortunately for me, his Night Sisters aren't specifically amazingly modded. So my main threat here will be to get stunned a bunch of times by old Daka. That could really mess me up, as it has in the past. But other than that, I should have a shot at beating this team, even though I am vastly outgeared. Let's say a fair bit outgeared. They got 6 relic levels over me. So let's see how the boys do. As I don't have any female bounty hunters. Ouch, that was really bad of a start. Double stun there on Bosk, and well, Bosk is the worst really. Damn. Okay. That's pretty bad. Let's see how it goes. As long as they don't stun Dengar, I can just instantly heal back to full like that, which is perfect. Don't want to get ability blocked on my ability blocker. Yeah, this will certainly be a challenge compared to some of the other ones. But I think I'll just gun straight for the payout. It's probably safest considering all of the stuns that are happening, yeah. It's really not ideal usually to drop zombie under max protection, because then I can start losing my taunt, but I have to do it in this case. Though if Boba takes no turns at all here, then I definitely lose. It's not looking good so far. And Bosk just keeps getting his turn meter reduced. Okay, double turn ability block. Good timing. This one's also good timing. Come on, now I need Boba to get an execute in and I'm golden. There he is. Come on, Boba. This has got to kill. Yes, perfect. Okay, that's a win. I mean, yeah, I don't really see how it could still go wrong, but maybe they can prove me wrong. It's just going to be a bit time consuming. Maybe Asajj can ramp up pretty big. I don't really know. So let's get the contract. Double turn ability block. Try and kill Spirit next, probably. Maybe Asajj works too. But with all of my characters stunned, it's pretty difficult to get someone down. Alright, I hope this kills. Nice. I should have absolutely taunted there, but hey. I'm just happy that things worked out. I mean, the team can do a lot without Watt. It's just that if you get used to having Watt in there, it's so much more secure. And as long as you mod the others well so that the turn order works out decently and know a little bit what you're doing and what to pay attention to, then you can get pretty far with this team. Okay, that's both of the revives burned. Now I can just burn them down. And try to end with full protection. Then the other team was CLS, so against CLS I'm gonna have choice of using either my first order or my resistance. Boba isn't full, but it doesn't really matter too much. So I've got first order and resistance basically against CLS and their resistance. So I think using my Rage Edit training up against their Rage Edit training is probably a nicer move than the other way around. Although they do have a fair bit of debuffs. And exposes don't really hurt two of my guys. So maybe that one. And then I can use Emperor Palpatine with Thrawn and Nihilus against the Kira team. I'll do that one first, I think. Although maybe I should go for CLS first just to secure the win. So let's I'm thinking here if I want to use first order resistance. I think I'll go with my decisions. I think I'll go with my first order against the CLST because they have a lot of exposes, debuffs, turn meter reduction. Yeah, I don't think they're strong enough to take me down. And my resistance team, it would do fine. I just don't really like resistance against, my first order against their resistance that much. But that probably makes more sense actually. Okay, I'll do resistance over here. Just takes me a minute to come to the conclusion that some of the viewers might have already reached. So let's just do these guys and get going. Ooh, that's bad. They all focus down Finn. Alright, that's not really what I expected, so this could actually end up being a loss. They also did a lot more damage to him than I would have anticipated, considering there's really only one guy who's relicked. So we'll see what we can do to salvage this. Let's start by stopping him from stealthing. Let's put offense down on Han. Start going for Chewie, and then hopefully R2 there can still smokescreen and stop my Finn from dying. Nope. Guess he gained a bunch of turn meter there. That's pretty disappointing. Alright, well, let's get Chewie out of here. I should still be able to win. But without Resistance Hero Finn, this is why I was a bit hesitant to use the team. So I thought they might shoot someone out. I can't say I expected it to be Finn though. That was actually my last guess. Alright, let's go for Han up next. Push his turn meter back a little. Pretty much everyone's got offense down other than R2. Guess I might give him some as well. Got the double confuse on myself there. Wow, did you see that? I mean, you're probably watching this video, so I guess yes, but that was pretty crazy. Let's get another burn in, I think, because I'm still stealthed. Rage Jedi training probably isn't going to be taking any more turns, so I have the triple stack. I do. Well, I can't say this battle went even slightly the way I thought it might, so that's pretty interesting. Ugly in terms of banners. Let's try and get BB-8 back up. No, he didn't heal there. Well, too bad. So it's like 50... Well, a bit more than I thought, 55. Thought it would be 53. Alright, let's see what fleet he put. The Malevolence, as many do. Alright, I'll go for the Resistance team next then. Just sort for first order. And they're kinda all at the top anyway. Yeah, don't know if my first order would have done a whole lot better without Hux in there. I think someone would have dropped off pretty quickly. But perhaps some of you have some insights in the comments for me on what you would have done if you would have done anything different. But that was pretty hardcore, especially because my Resistance Hero Finn is Relic 7, so he was the highest relic of the bunch and they almost took him down. And that was a Gear 12 Chewie, Gear 12 CLS, and then Relic 3 Han, I think. Guess it shouldn't be underestimated. Alright, the first target in this team is Veteran Smuggler Chewie. He's pretty deadly. Just thinking if I want to do anything other than going for him. So I'll just do an AoE. Oh. Poor squishy dude in the back there. Let's get a kill. And I get the bonus turn before their Veteran Smuggler Han Solo. That's pretty funny. Wow. Okay, well, even if the Resistance wasn't the greatest choice, this one's certainly working out. I should maybe have saved a little bit of time there to try to heal back up, because I've got 2 guys almost maxed and actually 3 guys, so if my Sith Trooper there can still take a turn, I'm gonna feed him some turn meters so he can do that. Then pass him the turn rather, then I can heal. And 3 people max there, so that's 58. Nice. And then the Kira team. Who do we want to bring? Thrawn and then Nihilus. I don't think I really need anyone else. I could bring some, but don't think it adds too much. It's just more people to top up protection on, so I'll go with these 4. Right, start with this one. Fracture you. I guess my Vader's gonna go last here. Yep. Wow, I even got a stun on Nest there. That is nuts, yo. Alright. Basic. Basic that one. This one. Force Crush L3. Saber Throw Kira. I guess I could have ability blocked Stormtrooper Han here, but wow, that was a big hit. Let's kill him. I mean, let's ability block? No. I was wondering, maybe because I landed the stun, I could have had a chance, but let's kill Vandor before anything goes different. Okay, definitely want to fracture here. Otherwise I can't get the Annihilate in on Nest. So that would be pretty unintelligent. I don't want to AoE here, because then I have to recover more protection. It's just Vader now, which is pretty nice. Just need 1 turn on Vader to try to get that back. I don't know if I'll be able to. Should be possible. Whoa. Nearly lost my protection there. Alright, let's do some of this. Some of that. Yeah, L3 is definitely going to counter. Nope. Okay, nice. Killed with a fracture for 61. So it's impressive that my opponent still got through Supreme Leader Kylo Ren there. If he wouldn't have been able to, he would have cleared no zones at all. That's painful. 255k, that's very little GP. But he definitely did the thing with Geo Spy. I will happily still take that bait though, because I'm pretty curious how it will go. Put in these 4. I won't really need more. He's just got the 1 reinforcement. So let's do that. I can afford to take the risk for trying to get a nice high score. So basic on Sunfac. There we go, buff immunity on Hyena, not on Sunfac because then you can't go for him. And it's not really about the buff immunity anyways, it's just the AoE to drop some stats on multiple ships. Alright, we call in... I think he's gear 10, my Plo. I was just thinking, what gear is he actually? My trusty Plo, that's who he is. And there we go, put this one up. I won't be able to do one of the moves yet, the group attack. That always comes a turn later. Yeah, he does the thing with Spy. I mean, even if he targets my Jedi Knight Anakin, he's max protection here. There's just nothing that's gonna happen. So that's why I'm not too bothered about whatever he plans to do. It's really only Plo that I'm concerned about losing usually, but he's not targeted. And even if I lose him, it's not the end of the world. Okay, and this should kill both of those ships. There we go. But I did lose some protection, some health, so it's still 64. It would have been the same if I brought Ahsoka, probably. Doesn't really matter. 1919, that's a good score. I'm pretty happy with it. Taking out one of the highest lifetime opponents I have to date. I find it a bit of a pity that he split off Hux there. I hope he realized that mistake and that maybe we can have a rematch in the future where he keeps them together or does something different. But this one really hurt him. And maybe he didn't realize it until after the fact, I don't know. But thanks for an interesting match. Had some good teams in there. Hope you enjoyed watching my Resistance Hero Finn get melted at the start there. But other than that, I had a fun match. And I'll see you all again in the next week. I'm not sure I'll be able to record all of my matches as I'll be traveling a bit. So yeah, I'll have to see if I can put everything up there. If not, I can always record my battles and then make some recaps of it afterwards. So I'll see how exactly I want to handle it. Anyways, I hope your finales went well. Take care everyone, and I'll see you all again soon for more Grand Arena.